A growing crowd of supporters outside of the courthouse here. Right now, you just saw Judge Beverly Cannoni has sent the jury out for more deliberations. Here's the jury makeup. This process started about 12 weeks ago for many of these jurors. It was a split right in the middle at first. 9 men, 9 women, 18 in the box here in case evidence over 8 weeks. That included 49 witnesses. Well, today, back in that jury room, is 7 women and 5 men. The four-person chosen by the court. We saw that last year. That person sits in seat number 1. They have the option to deliberate until about 5 o'clock today. They chose not to deliberate past closing hours of the courthouse on Friday, so they ended their deliberations at about 1 hour and 47 minutes on Friday. Today, we expect the first full day of deliberations, Julie.
Big day, Matt. Could be verdict day, as you know. Let's rewind the clock a little bit to the all-important closing arguments, if we can. You were in the courtroom, Matt, watching those for us. Take us back there. Tell us what were the big standout moments and what the jury heard last before starting their deliberations, please.
Yeah, you're exactly right. These are the moments that are not case evidence, but it really is the timeline that both attorneys on each side wants this jury to consider as they look at the evidence up close and personal in that jury room in this courthouse here behind me. So you had Hank Brennan and Alan Jackson facing off. The defense arguing reasonable doubt. They were doing a Daubert defense, faulty police investigation. The Commonwealth was doubling down on Reed's admissions and TV interviews since the first trial. Let's listen to both.
There was no collision. There was no collision. There was no collision. You folks are the last line of defense. The last line of defense between an innocent woman and a system that has tried to break her, that falsely accused her, that tried mightily to bury the truth. This case was corrupted from the start. It was corrupted by biases and conflicts and personal loyalties that you heard about. And most fatally, it was corrupted by a lead investigator whose misconduct infected every single part of this case from the top to the bottom.
She made a decision about herself. In her Lexus, she drove away. She was drunk, she hit him, and she left him to die.
So I was in the courtroom as I was during the first closing arguments last year, during the first trial, right, Julie? So I have a good vantage point of this jury. They were informed by the court that, again, it's not case evidence, so they had to put their notebooks down. There were some jurors that had taken so many notes, they had 3, maybe 4 notebooks stacked up, and they had to put them under their seat. And just watching all of these jurors, just paying such close attention to both attorneys. And then it was also a different dynamic. They both went over their allotted time of 1 hour and 15 minutes, but they weren't cut off like they were last year. Remember, Adam Lally ran out of time. It was a first that I had never seen before with a prosecutor doing so. But at the end of the day, these jurors are just so thoughtful. They are taking this so seriously. We have not lost one during this retrial. It's quite something, Julie.
It really is, Matt. If you don't mind, a follow-up question, please. Being in there, I know you were watching the jurors closely. Did anyone exhibit any kind of overt reaction that would indicate maybe agreement, maybe nodding perhaps, or something like that with either side?
You know, I have to say I haven't noticed much of that. Remember, it was a couple weeks ago where the judge told this jury that they can't show any opinion, that they can't whisper under their breath, that they shouldn't be talking to each other or glancing at each other. So that happened a couple weeks ago. So this jury has been very on their mark, showing to this judge that they're taking it seriously.
Following the rules and the instructions, that is a good thing, as you know, Matt. So outside where you are, looks like you're across the street from the courthouse. Would you describe kind of what you're seeing, anything noteworthy this morning?
Yeah, you know, it's been a growing number of supporters and just onlookers, people that are curious in this small town of Dedham. We're in Dedham Square. I'm over at the Registry of Deeds. It looks like a courthouse itself. It's the busiest roadway in America, some can describe it, because there's constantly, you know, buses going by and police vehicles and fire. But you see all of these supporters down here and just everyday onlookers. Remember, we're in summer break. And then across the street, you see part of the gaggle of media from across the country that are here covering the case like we have since the beginning. Outside the courthouse, we're also seeing people line up around the block showing their support or just, again, out here just watching this happen. And then, of course, we're not seeing them cheer when they see Karen Read, this defendant. Many are supporting in silence right now. Let's show you a bit of Friday when she was walking from or to her car. Are you going to be
verdict watch? What do you like to do?
Not much you can do but try to occupy your mind.
How do you feel that it's almost over?
Ready.
Anything to say to your supporters?
Thank you. I love that.
Reed also telling the media outside that she has butterflies right now, but she believes in this jury. She helped select them personally. And, you know, when we're talking about the first trial and this retrial, a lot of people ask me all the time, you know, how long do you think that the jury will be out? Of course, you never know, right, Julie? But if you want a comparison, last year the jury worked 2 half days, but over a span of 5 days before it was declared mistrial, before they could not reach a unanimous resolution.